When I was around 13 years old, I was at this hunting camp, and I already knew what fapping was, but I didn't know about any of the big websites. And so it was late at night, and I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers, and he made a inappropriate joke about the name of a website, and I didn't know what he was talking about. So I looked it up, and that was my earliest memory of ever watching corn. That's basically when the addiction started. I started watching it like one time a day, then two, then three, and this went on for years until I was around 15 years old. Around that time, the place that I live in decided to put a ban on the websites. They basically made it to where you have to enter like your government ID or something for like age verification, and I was underage, so I shouldn't have even been watching it. The day that happened, me and my friends, we were all at school and we were in the cafeteria talking about it, and I remember we were all on our phones just like giggling and talking about it and reloading the website just to see if it'll work. That moment just really says everything about this addiction. We didn't think that we were addicted. We grew up being told that it's just this normal thing that all young men do. But it's not a normal thing. If you didn't know, back then, it used to be illegal. Corn used to be illegal. But nowadays, we can agree that it's a bad thing, and more young men are quitting. But for me, it was just so hard. Like when I was around 15 years old, I decided to like fix my life. I stopped doom scrolling, I quit processed food, I started taking working out more seriously. But there was one habit I just couldn't quit, and that was porn. And the thing that really pissed me off was it was my only bad habit left. I was able to quit all the other ones so damn easily, but this one I just couldn't do it. For years I would be pissed at myself over that. And me and you are probably similar in that we watched over like 100 no-fap videos. And if you want me to be honest, it felt like none of them helped. I was so desperate, but I just couldn't find the reasons to help. And it wasn't until this year that I really found the answers that have helped me. So I just want to share that with you. Imagine this, in some weird reality, you are told that if you relapse on your addiction again, you will die. Do you think you would relapse again? Be honest, pause the video and think about that shit for a minute. You wouldn't. You would genuinely you would get the urge, obviously, right? You'll be like, oh shit, I want to relapse. But then you'll remind yourself like, oh dude, I'll pass away if I do, so I'm not going to do that. This is because you have a strong why behind quitting your addiction. So let me give you an example. When I wanted to quit junk food, I had horrible acne, I was really fat, and I wanted to like boost my testosterone, build muscle, And so I decided to quit junk food. And the cool thing is, remember this for later in the video, I lost like 20 pounds of fat. And then I lost most of my acne all from quitting junk food. So it basically reinforced the behavior of me, quitting the bad habit. The thing is, with porn addiction, most of the advice online is very gray. Like, I'm sorry, but I would watch hundreds of these videos, easily over 100, and they would all just be like, oh yeah, and it's bad for dopamine and dopamine. And I'm sorry, I get that it's bad for dopamine, but bro, I heard that shit so many times, and it just wasn't a strong enough why for me to quit. But eventually, after so much reading and listening to stories on people quitting, I basically found my reason to quit. So I just want to share this with you. I would start seeing videos on people talking about how semen retention is like this really amazing practice to do. And I'll be honest, at first when I saw these guys, I thought they were kind of weird because they're all spiritual and I'm just a young man and I'm dumb, right? And so I was watching these guys and they were talking about how you lose like stem cells and neurotransmitters and vital nutrients, and you even like desensitize your androgen receptors, so like your free testosterone doesn't get used as much. I would see all of this shit, and I'll be honest, all of this information is debated. Like, I don't know if it's the truth, I'll be honest, but it made me want to test myself. When I heard all of this stuff, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do an experiment on myself. I'm gonna just go like a couple days without it, a week, whatever, and I'm gonna see how I feel. I just wanna test if these influencers are lying or not. And so after experimenting and trying going without it for like a week, holy shit, my life felt amazing. The thing is, my energy felt better, I felt way happier, and I literally just felt healthier. And you gotta understand, I wasn't quitting because some YouTuber said it was bad. You've probably heard so many times that it's bad, like you know this, you know it is bad, and yet you couldn't quit. I was quitting because I preferred the new version of myself without it. And that's what I think you need, bro. You need to like do research on anecdotal evidence, meaning like stories of people quitting. They're talking about how like, oh my god, my skin got better, my voice got deeper, I noticed this improvement, more energy, all that stuff. Maybe even talk to a friend about it. Like me and my best friend, we say like, if we relapse, we notice that our voice literally gets higher. Like our voice isn't as deep. So if you ever hear me come onto YouTube and be like, okay guys, we're gonna be talking about, that's how you know I relapse. And dude, we also notice like we feel like shit for days after we relapse. But yeah, man, legit just go like around a week without it and just see how you feel. Like literally document it. Go on your phone or go in the notes app and literally write down every benefit you notice, every like minute benefit you notice. This is the equivalent to the story earlier with me quitting junk food, right? When I quit junk food, I noticed that my acne got better. I lost like 20 pounds of fat and I just felt healthier. Like my stomach illness that I had for my whole life finally got cured. That is the equivalent you're gonna get on this experiment, and you're gonna notice like, okay, I feel like I have more energy, I feel happier with my life. Like if I relapse, I know I'll be depressed. Like write that shit down literally in like a piece of paper or like your notes app on your phone, whatever. You just need to document this. And I know if you're extremely addicted like me, when I was like watching this shit like 3 times a day, all I ask of you is to go like 4 days, bro, 4 days. That is all I ask, just to see what I'm talking about. So then when it's in the future and you notice like, okay, I'm getting an urge right now, you can think, no, if I eat this junk food, I'll be more fat, I'll get more acne. No, if I fap, I'll be literally depressed, I will be sick because of this hormone and my energy will be bad and this other nutrient and all that stuff. The second thing I want you to do is what I call the grand gesture. This is something in the book I read, Deep Work, and it's basically this story about this guy who wrote books. So keep in mind, he could write a book at home, but imagine living in like America and then you buy a plane ticket to go to Europe and then back, but not to travel. He just did it so he could write the book on the plane, and he could write it at home, but he did it on the plane because it made his brain like make such a big commitment. You get what I mean? And so it told himself like, okay, I need to lock in on this. If you were to try and simulate this in your life, you can trick your brain into thinking, okay, this is the new season, the new chapter of my life, okay, let's do this. And so the best way I found for you to do this is either by starting a good habit or changing a good habit. So let me give you an example. I'm following my dream purpose right now, you know, with creating content. And so recently I started posting to short form. That's the first new thing I did. Then I started a new habit of sometimes after my workouts, I'll go to the local park and I'll just touch grass and I'll be in the sun and I'll do sprints. That's a new thing. Then I noticed when I meditate, you know, I start to do shallow breathing. And so I made a conscious effort to change the habit and do like deeper breaths. That's changing a new habit. And then lastly, I started to kind of change my diet with like the dairy I ate. All of this in like a couple month span literally forced my brain to believe like, okay, this is the new season, the new chapter of my life. It just gave me so much more motivation to quit. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, isn't motivation like a bad thing? Like, isn't it gonna run out? Do not listen to any of these influencers who say like, oh, motivation is gonna burn out and it doesn't work and you're gonna fail. Dude, I have gone 4 years without relapsing on junk food one time. All because I'm so motivated to not do it, because I'm literally like scared of what like all the chemicals and all the weird ingredients are going to do to my body. So what you need to do, bro, is you just need to get that like burst of motivation to just go like a week without it and then see what your life feels like without doing it. Like you'll remember all the moments that you felt like relapsing but you didn't do it, and holy shit, that is an amazing feeling. And so the first thing you need to do is do that grand gesture. Doing the grand gesture may include like reading stories on people, you know, quitting. Maybe it's changing your workout plan, changing your meal plan. Maybe you start going outside, going on walks. Maybe you start meditating. This is for you to decide, bro. And then from there, bro, I'll be honest, you're going to get urges to relapse. That is totally normal. It's not a bad thing. I'll be honest, I still get urges so much. Like last night was a really bad night. I was getting so many urges to do it, but I didn't. And I just felt really proud of myself, you know? And I'm literally like on the split decision of do I do it or do I not? I just think about those benefits that I talked about earlier, you know? I know that sounds so uncool and you want to hear this method or this new tactic, but it's just this like brute force, sheer willpower of me reminding myself, like, if I fap, if I relapse, I will be depressed. I will feel unhealthy. My energy will be so shit. I don't know why it's controversial to say, like, if I relapse, of course I'll be depressed. Of course I would like hate myself for a week after. Like, remember, bro, you literally said earlier that if you knew you would pass away if you relapsed, you wouldn't do it. That's just proof to you that you can quit this, bro. Remember, I was probably more addicted than you. I'll be honest. I was more addicted than most guys. And if you know my story, I had this friend group growing up and we would talk about like how often we did it. And my friends were like, oh yeah, once a week, 2 times a week. I was like, yeah, 2 to 3 times a day. Yeah, I was that kind of dude, bro. If I could quit this shit, man, you can too. If you've been struggling with this for years, bro, I wouldn't be against you watching this video multiple times because this advice has helped me so much. This advice has done wonders for me, and I know it'll help you too, bro. And here recently, bro, I've had a couple guys hop on calls with me. We're talking about like porn addiction and all this stuff, just becoming more happier. If that sounds like you and you want like, you know, a free hour of my advice, go check out top link in the description. But yeah, man, see ya.